About the half-court defense tonight and what you thought of that.
Yeah, it was really good. That was the issue was the live ball turnovers. To your point, they weren't. You'd rather throw the ball out of bounds than what we did. Gave them runouts, but Luka's so good. So you just try to give him a million different looks. We were down the floor, we were up the floor. We switched a little bit. I just thought we gave great effort, and obviously, it's really important to rebound the ball, and we did that. We kept them off the glass. Take away the second chance opportunities. So. A lot of positives to this. That's a really good team. And then more importantly, I'll say it now because it's after the game, but just for the season series, to tie it, knowing we have a chance because we know all these teams are going to be close to each other at the end of the year. So I have thought our half-court defense since the All-Star break has been really good. The two outliers, to me, were more schedule things where we were just exhausted. The Golden State game and then obviously in Utah, we just didn't have a lot of juice in those games. But besides that, I've liked our overall effort. Our communication's been better, and that has to continue if we're going to try to put ourselves in the best place possible going into that tournament.
David, in the back, given the late game struggles so much lately, how nice was it to hold on, even though it did get tight late, to hold on and win a close one?
Yeah, I don't really think about that. I know my team's going to win close games. We've had some struggles. We finished games with a million different lineups. There's not just two people out there. There's five. So it's how they guard us is dependent on who's out there. And, we won the game in Utah. We won this game. I thought we did a good job getting the ball to the elbow for Nikola, gives him more space to attack as opposed to the block where they were basically triple teaming him. But, yeah, the guys, there's no lack of confidence in there in close games. I got to be honest. It's not something we've talked about. It's just something you keep working on because you're going to need it late. Later in the season, and you're hoping that you get your group back that has ran certain things for many years, and you don't want to go away from that, but you got to get the guys back to execute the plays that we used to run. So it's a crapshoot right now who's finishing games, and that does affect how you space and how you play the last few minutes. But proud of the guys tonight. They did their job defensively, found ways to score offensively, we made free throws.
To that point, you talked about trusting the other guys when they kind of flood that zone around Nikola.
Yeah.
Tim and Julian combined for 32. Jokic only had 6 shots at half, but had all those assists. How important is it when teams are going to do that you don't get too reliant on two-man game and instead move to the weak side to give these guys an opportunity to punish that defense?
Yeah, and I think it's important that we don't try to make something up that's not there. If they're going to bring 5 people across the floor, to your point, if we screen in a rotation or if we flood to the rim, that takes the last man available with him. Find the weak side and trust those guys. The play where Nikola isoed and went left and beat his man and Julian standing there in the corner, that was the biggest shot of the game to me, put us back out in front. It's just doing what's available to you. We ran a little motion action with Luka in the mix, and it gave enough body movement for them not to load up on Nikola. He got an easy basket there off the elbow, so who we are right now, I think that's what we're trending to be at the end of games. And, again, it's different when it's Aaron flooding. We all know that. It's a dunk. It's not just a catch, try to make the next pass. But I'm just proud of the guy. They're doing what we're asking them to do, bottom line. And we just have to take care of the ball better throughout the course of the game. And maybe we wouldn't have to be in those situations.
Coach, what did you think of the opportunity that Zeke had in front of him, how he took advantage of it, and the decision to go with that?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. We thought he was a good matchup for LeBron as far as just his ability with his body, how to move his feet. He competed with him. We're just nightly. We meet as a staff in the morning, and which way do you want to go here? Once we knew Cam was out, Julian's been good offensively, so that was an automatic to stay. And then it just felt like with the lack of wings that we have, even though Zeke is more of a traditional power forward, he can hybrid, and guard some of those positions, some of those guys. So I give CB credit on Luka. He's an amazing player, but I did think we made him play inside the line a lot, which is what you want to do. And I thought Zeke really competed with, arguably the greatest player of all time. So it's, both guys are very impactful on that end.
You mentioned getting Nikola right here. Getting Nikola a couple touches at the elbow late. You guys run that split action. He keeps and gets to the rim. What kind of led to that decision? What were you guys seeing with the Lakers defense? Just kind of curious what came into that.
Yeah, we went to the post a few times. It was live ball turnovers, and so you're trying to find a different place to give him the ball. And I do think it's good to have some body movement and motion as opposed to just straight ISOs because they just load up. there's nothing happening. But if somebody cuts the rim, Jamal gets to space, you have to honor that. You have to honor a layup, and you have to honor Jamal Murray. And if that's the case, he has space to attack. Even in those situations, sometimes they bring another defender, and now the corner is open or whatever it may be. So, I like it to happen organically like that, or we're playing our actual system as opposed to everybody just staring at somebody. Because good defensive teams, if there's no body movement, that can be a problem. And when we had that tonight, I thought it was when we had issues with the live ball turnovers.
Last one, Benny.
You mentioned Christian. Had a feeling this was going to have to be another game where he would have to play a lot.
Yeah.
Just how much more comfortable have you seen him be over this string of games, really, since he came back the second time?
Yeah, I think the speed is fully back. His conditioning is outrageous. He's up there with I've coached guys like Corey Brewer, where you could play him 45 minutes and he'd be laughing and joking after the game and can't wait to go out with his friends. The guy was incredible. It's like old school NBA story or something, but CB's like that. If he is tired, I don't know it. And he just keeps playing. But yeah, the speed's there. I think the explosion is still coming. A couple times tonight he took off, it was more of a layup than a dunk. But then other games, like we talked about, he has exploded. So I think it'll come with time. That's the next phase for him. But just proud of how he's playing. He's playing confidently. He's running his routes like we always talk about with him. He is our transition rim runner. The guy's been so important to our team for so long.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.